Hello everybody, welcome to a new writing vlog. Well, slash reading slash whatever the heck I end up doing. But the book I am reading is in line with writing. Page 1 to done. Finish your novel in 30 days with the fast drafting method. I don't plan to necessarily do that, but I am currently doing the first draft of a novel, Project Rockstar. A new adult historical novel is what I'm referring to it as. I need to figure out something better than that because I don't know if that's right, but you know. So I'm that far into this book. Interesting, I'm reading right now about setting up writing routines, setting up where you write, just having rituals and routines and things like that. I am presently, I think like 22-ish thousand words into the first draft. I'm anticipating it being around 80,000 potentially. I don't know, we're just gonna have to see. But that puts me presently in the second act, more specifically the first half of the second act, which if you are familiar with Save the Cat, is often defined as the fun and games section. In terms of Save the Cat, they have different genres, and so I've had a hard time determining if my story falls more under institutionalized versus buddy love. Because, oh, I didn't say, it's like Daisy Jones and the Six meets Vans Warped Tour. So it's kind of like a star-crossed lovers sort of situation, but I keep going back and forth in whether like the romance kind of thing, I mean, that's what it is, but I don't foresee it having a happy ending, so I don't know if you still refer to that as romance or not. People who are more familiar with the genre, let me know. I know people always struggle with the middle. For me, the middle has always been the easy part, but it's not feeling super easy for me right now. I think also I'm just not super in love with this project at the moment, and I'm having a hard time telling if it's because of the project or just because that's what happens when you're working on a project for a little while, and sometimes you fall out of love with it, or you get bored, or you don't know what to do, or whatever kind of situation. So I don't know if it's a project thing or if it's a me thing, you know? But I'm gonna try and power through. I'm trying to finish the first draft by the end of August. It is July 22nd today, which puts me at needing to write 13 to 1400 words a day. I'm going to finish reading the chapter I was reading of this, and then I think I'm gonna get to some writing. I might do sprints because I think that helps me knowing that I have like a concentrated point in time, and then I can take a brief break and then concentrate it and going back and forth like that. I think works for me. I'm very tired. I'm afraid that once I start reading this I might fall asleep, take a little midday nap. We'll see. I fell asleep.
I exceeded it by about 1,000 words, which is great considering how many days I've been skipping writing lately. I also hit 25,000 words. I'm at currently 25,489 words out of my projected 80,000 word goal. I'm starting to get into the act 2, and so it's kicking in. I think, generally speaking, I'm not a fan of act 1. It's hard doing the setup, but I hate act 3 so much that I pretty much don't finish my manuscripts. I think I've kind of like finished one manuscript ever, and it's not even the one I put the most words to. And act 2 is my favorite because that's the book. Like, that's when all the fun, juicy stuff happens. That's fun. That's my comfort zone. That's why when I first started the second act and it wasn't like working immediately, it was discouraging. I'm like, maybe I need to scrap this. But I just need to push through. And actually something I did is I looked up about romancing the beats. I'm very familiar with like Save the Cat, that beat sheet, and I definitely keep that in mind when I'm writing. Like I said, with this story, I kind of am struggling in terms of what genre to define it as. It's kind of a romance, but it's hard to decide. Is the A plot, the A story, the romance, easier to pick up from where I left off. It's a lot easier to continue. It's kind of like that, whatever that is scientifically speaking, you know what I'm talking about. But with this, I'm like struggling to make myself stop because I'm wanting to write to the end of the scene. Like I'm actually into it, which is kind of potentially the first time in this manuscript. Like I'm 25 plus thousand words into the story, and only now am I like, this is fun. I like this. I hope I can maintain this. I hope to God. I hope to God. I want to have more finished manuscripts under my belt. We'll see how tomorrow's writing goes. I'm going to bed.
Girl, sometimes loving yourself, ignore the dirty stuff. Sometimes loving yourself is making yourself a delicious freaking breakfast. But then you can't even have the orange juice you bought because your brother drank it all. Alright guys, it is now time for my new post-lunch routine of seeing how long I can read before I fall asleep. I need to set an alarm or a timer or something because I have work in a few hours and I cannot be having something catastrophic happen. But I'm gonna try to read and I'll probably doze a little bit. Hi guys, it is 9:06 p.m. and I want you to guess what I haven't done yet. That's correct, right. I did read, I did nap, I did go to work, I did make mashed potatoes and gravy. I did start the Long Ring Long Land arc in One Piece. Wish me luck. I haven't written yet. I need to do that. But I don't really feel like it. No, I do. I don't know. I am wondering if maybe in my mind the year it's set in is 2002 or 2003. I actually think I keep switching between them in my mind, but pretty much 2002 is what I was thinking. But then when I listened to the music that was coming out, and like, it's so much more like 2005 coded, what I'm trying to do. And I know that. But that's when 2005, that's when it all went mainstream. Well, all the pop punk. But I mean, yeah, okay, it was already mainstream before that. It went mainstream with Green Day and Blink-182 and all that in the 90s. But the 2000s, I feel like 2005 was like the year. So I guess it would make sense that my story would be set in that time. I don't know if that really matters. I really want to finish reading page 1 to done so that I can start other books. Usually the way I read is I start a million different books and I never finish any of them. But I'm trying the approach of reading one book at a time. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I have to finish reading page 1 to done before I start reading something else or resume any of my current reads. But actually I really want to read The Poppy War. I've been wanting to read that for years, but like I kind of put it on my upcoming list in my head. So now I want to read it, but I actually have a bunch of other books on my bedside table that I kind of need to read first. And I definitely need to read page 1 to done first. And I also definitely need to write. Alright guys, whether I like it or not, it's locking o'clock, aka 9:20 p.m. and I am tired and I'm gonna get more tired. So I want to do this and then go to bed. Anyway, I have to write 1,363 words. Maybe I'll try to do sprints. I could probably do it in 3 sprints. Okay. I'm sorry. Alrighty guys, I've met my word count goal by the very skin of my teeth. It is 11:48. I've exceeded it by like 90 words. The problem is I procrastinated, but I finished and now I'm going to bed. Good morning guys. I am not ready to be awake, but I have to. I have to every day. I just was playing The Sims 4. Ignore this. But I got 2 bags of spicy nacho Doritos, as you do. And then, you bet your butt. You bet your butt. Oh my god, these are different looking, I think. Alright, what should I start with? Surging Sparks or Twilight Masquerade? I'm gonna do Surging Sparks first because I think Twilight Masquerade is cooler. I have to be honest, I always cut these open because I can never open them. Oh wait, but these are kind of... Alright, the glue was not even done on that one. If you saw my trying to have hobbies again video, then you would know that I forgot how to do, well, because it's been so long since I did Pokemon cards that they changed the way you do it, but you just move on. Water Energy, Diglett, Classic, Spiel, oh, Grass, Capsicid, Larvesta, Counter Gain, Braviary. Sorry, you didn't really get to see that one. A Spathra. Ooh, a little electric type. Rotom, Reverse Hollow. I think it's Reverse Hollow. I don't know. Chill teaser toy. Alright. Ignore this. Landorus, Abundance Pokemon. Oh, with the little foiling on it, kind of cute. Nothing terribly interesting though, but they'll go into my Pokemon binder. Yes, I have a Pokemon binder where I put all of my cards because I don't have enough special ones to just dedicate it to special ones. Twilight Masquerade, the freaking awesome one probably. Another freaking Water Energy. Boom shot. Is that another freaking Slugma? Girl, I already got 2. I already think I have 2 of these, but I think they're in a different style. I definitely already have that one. I've got a Tadpole. Again, I don't know if it's in that style or not. I do have that exact Applin. I think I have this exact Applin regular and also hollow or reverse hollow. Oh, cute. Another one I have. I don't have this one. Oh my god, wait, that one's cute. Its ability is attract customers. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may look at the top 6 cards of your Mimicry Pokemon. Is the art style so cute? Ooh, I've never heard of this one. Farograph? I don't know if any of this is at all in focus for you, but you know. Oh, but she's kind of cool. And it's reverse hollow. Sorry. I thought that was the last one. Floette, so cute. Wait, what is that? Oh my god. Wait, that's so cool. Blood Moon Ursaluna X. Oh my god, so cute. These are actually both so cute. Well, this is cute. This is freaking fire. Look at his little freaking claw. Kind of looks like Shadow the Hedgehog. Blood Moon. Oh my god, it's got 5 freaking stars on that move. 240 PP or HP. I've played the card game before, but it's been a long time. Oh look, you can see me in the reflection of it. Let's go, bro. I did think it was full art when I accidentally did the little whoop, but it's not, but that's okay. It's still so cute. My favorite ones are Tatsugiri, the Floette, and then this one's pretty freaking cool. Thank you for watching. Good morning, guys. I didn't show you because my battery was too low, but I just put my laundry in the dryer, did some computer work. I'm going to wash my hair and then I'll show you what I need to do for the rest of my morning. It's Sunday, by the way. It's been a couple days. Good morning, guys. Update. I already said good morning, but update. I just took my dog out, and then I gathered up laundry, which I'm gonna start. Alright, this is a poinsettia that I killed. I probably should get it out of here. Alright, this is pretty bad. Not great, but better. And then I'm gonna vacuum. Update, guys, I vacuumed the downstairs in my house, and now I have to charge my vacuum so I can do upstairs. Alright, chat. Here's my brunch. I just made my first credit card payment. I'm a grown up or whatever. Hi guys, it's part of the video where I wrap up. Sorry I haven't spoken this morning, so my voice is a little... Yeah, I just wanted to take a moment to mention the stats for this video. On July 22nd, I wrote 2,318 words. Anything over 2,000 words, I'm like, that's a good writing day. 23rd of July, I wrote 1,459. That's a lot more like standard, what I would expect from a writing day. But at this point, anything over 1,000, I'm good with. Then it was a few days, not until July 26th, then I only wrote 7 words. But to be fair, well, no, I don't know. I didn't really do much that day, but then that night, I wrote the 7 words, but I was also like looking at my outline. I have a whiteboard. And I'm like looking at the scene overview, and so I was doing all that kind of thing. And then the next day, July 27th, I only wrote 216 words, which, not great, but you know, a little bit more than nothing. That means in the course of this video, I have written somehow exactly 4,000 words. Can you believe it? That's okay. I mean, it's not like the greatest thing in the world, but it's more than 0. And at this point, that's all I'm celebrating. All I'm celebrating is more than 0. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more writing vlogs and whatever else it is I decide to post. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.